But, you know, hopefully we could run the third 5-0 back. It's not even about the program being perfect either. It's just like in before 15-0. I mean, I wouldn't complain about another 5-0 run back, but like it's probably unrealistic to expect a third. In fact, you should like never, like even when your deck list is really good and you're a good player playing well, you should never expect to win all of your matches. Like Magic's a game that has variance by design. Waiting to queue. Waiting to queue. This hand doesn't have any quick interaction in it, but we've got a Serum Visions to dig for some, so we'll see. How do you do against the Blood Moon matchup? We have a bunch of white fetch lands to get access to our planes, and then we have Celestial Purge and Disenchant, and Detention Sphere to a degree. Alright, so Bird of Paradise. I think I'm going to fetch Watery Grave and cast Serum Visions here. Yep. Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. So, I kind of want both of these cards, but at the same time, I almost feel like I'm supposed to push them. Because, we kind of need removal spells to interact with our opponent's things, but the flip side of that is I really don't have anything set up to do with my mana next turn. I think I'm supposed to... I think I'm going to go top here, drawing us the Inquisition next turn, and then, depending on what my opponent plays next turn, I might shuffle the Jace away with this fetch land. Go to Druid. I think these matchups are good for us on average, but our hand is just not particularly good in this version. Like, they have a Collected Company here. We're just, like, super sad. Okay, no Collected Company. I think we just take the Duskwatch Recruiter. It's their payoff, basically. And at this point, do I want the Jace? I might want the Jace. Nah, the Jace is kind of slow. Yeah, I'm just going to shuffle the Jace away. There's only 4 basics. Maybe one of the swamps should be. Best of luck at the Invitational. I wish you were playing Jeskai aggro, but here's to you killing with it, Esper. Here's $5 for a sandwich while you're there. We'll be rooting for you. Thanks, Crude Bros. I appreciate it. Now they have Noble Hierarch left in their hand. Let's see what they get here. Temple Garden deal. Cracking the Horizon Canopy, yep. Do we take... Oh, so, like, the thing about this deck is, even if they hit the combo, like, they need a payoff, too. And this card is scarier when they're not comboing than letting them get a Visor is. And, like, this isn't guaranteed get a Vizier, so I think that's fine. That's sequencing. Someone asked about the split on removal spells. Like, we've got, like, 2 Path, 2 Fatal Push, and a Go for the Throat. You want at least 3 different... Oh, I should rename the stream. I should rename the stream. I forgot I had the deck list in the stream title. I had been doing that recently. Godless Shrine tapped. So about the removal spells. You want at least 3 differently named removal spells, so that way you can cast Gifts Ungiven to get removal, Snapcaster Mage. I'm going to go ahead and plus this and take the last card out of my opponent's hand. I don't know what it is, but plussing this is better than... they're going to get to ship the Selfless Spirit into this. That's fine. I think I want to bin the Obzedat. I'm going to bin the Obzedat in case we hit a Goryo's Vengeance. Just to land. So they have 2 Exalted triggers here off of these, so this gets to kill the Liliana here, which is annoying. But then we have Lingering Souls to buy us a bunch of time. Maybe there's an argument for keeping the Jace there because we had Lingering Souls and Liliana to buy us some time. Can definitely see that. Peace, Sad. I appreciate it. Bone's got some choices to make here. That's a really good draw. Wow, we're probably dead. Oh, it's going to be one turn too late. Take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and go to 3, and then this is going to kill us in the air. On the off chance they, yeah, so they drew a land. We're dead. On the off chance they didn't have, they didn't activate the Gavany Township this turn, we could gift for Elesh Norn, which would be more than enough to get them, but they drew a land, so they're definitely activating that there. We drew 2 Lilianas that game, which is a little awkward. The card's pretty terrible in the matchup. Definitely want Supreme Verdict. Kalitas is fine. Disdainful Stroke seems okay. No, I don't really want the counter spells. This card's okay. Maybe the counter spells are better than the discard. I don't know. Clearing the way for our guys seems fine. Detention Sphere is a little slow. I think I'm just gonna submit like this. Two Verdicts post board's a big upgrade. Probably just have the one Selfless Spirit to chord for. And even if they have it, we can like push Path or Brutality it before we need to Verdict. A lot of the time. Obzedat's really powerful. Doesn't die to Fatal Push. No, I don't think so. Not all of them have the Finks combo in them. I think enough of them don't have it that I don't want to err on the side of them not having it. When does Command come in? Command comes in against the burn decks and the more grindy decks. Opponent's deck is basically an all-in combo deck that has like this kind of awkward backup beatdown plan with Gavany Township. Yeah, that sounds great. I definitely think Thoughtseize is worse than Serum Visions in this deck. That's why I'm not playing it. Gifts Ungiven, that's sweet. Lead on casting Serum Visions? Yeah. Another land is great. Goryo's Vengeance is actually pretty good too. I'm gonna go top here, and I'm gonna shock this in, so we can Fatal Push a Druid here. No, you want your Supreme Verdicts to not be counterable against the Death Shadow deck. Mirian Crusader. That's annoying, but not the end of the world. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and Collective Brutality. I think I'm just escalating this once. Yeah, I'm gonna go -2/-2 and look at their hand. And we're gonna bin this Elesh Norn to do so. Just straight brick here. That's fine, the rest of their hand isn't very good, especially without this mana creature. So we get to play this out, and then in 2 turns we get to put Elesh Norn into play. Yeah, most of the matches where you want to Gifts for Wrath, Gifts for Elesh Norn is fine. We are not going to crack this fetch land because we know there's a land on top of our deck and we want that land with this Gifts Ungiven. There might have been merit to escalating again just so we can get the Obzedat into the discard pile with the Goryo's Vengeance, but I don't think that's necessarily strictly necessary. Selfless Spirit, sure. So we know every card in their hand right now. Alright, so they should be pretty dead here, unless they draw like Surgical Extraction or Cage or Relic. 14, 14. Next turn we're taking 6 and going to whatever. Going to 8, and then these 2 fetches put us to 6. We'll get Plains Island with these. Or like, if something goes really sideways here, we could actually Goryo's Vengeance to Elesh Norn and wipe their board at instant speed. Yeah, so Magic Online doesn't run on superior operating systems, so I have to run Windows in a virtual machine. So yeah, so we know all 5 of the cards in their hand, so this is probably going to be a concession when we put this Elesh Norn into play. The thing people keep asking about this deck list is like, is the Gifts package worth it? And the answer is almost undeniably, with all the certainty in the world, yes. The Gifts package is worth it. Modern is a format where, like, everyone's trying to do really busted, broken things, so you want to make sure that your deck is getting a non-zero amount of free wins. And Gifts Ungiven with Elesh Norn and Iona give us that ability to do broken things consistently. Alright. Nice Selfless Spirit. I agree. Let's begin sideboarding. Yeah, so... do I want to change anything? I don't think so. Maybe these D-Spheres are worth it. Actually, no. Buried Crusader's a little annoying. It's probably a reason to have some Detention Spheres in 75. If Gifts are great, why not run the full 4? Because Modern's also a format where, like I said, people are getting free wins and people are getting run over, so you can only afford to have so many cards in your deck that don't interact with the board or make an impact before turn 4. There's lots of decks that are a little bit different than this one. The details that are different in this one are important and are what make it good. Is Lingering Souls better than Detention Sphere? That might not be true. I could buy that for $1. Let's cut the Kalitas and a Souls and bring in 2 D-Spheres. Yeah, let's do it. Collected Company decks usually run 4, and that's because they have accelerants to get to their 4-mana spells. Like, we've got Obzedat and, like, Unburial Rites and Elesh Norns. Like, the amount of times you're going to have to mulligan is going to increase. We also have things like Serum Visions. We also have things like Serum Visions and Jace to, like, increase the consistency of which we can find our 3 of. Like, every card you play in Modern that costs more than 2 mana, like, has a very real cost to it. If you're not playing something like Tron, where you have a bunch of big free mana. Negate greater than Lingering Souls? I don't think so. I think I like Lingering Souls. You need to actually kill them sometimes. And, like, Lingering Souls block, so, like, sometimes Lingering Souls is, like, double time walk just because it gains a bunch of life. Seltzers with the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Subscriptions and donations and Patreon support are the best ways you could support my content. Welcome. I don't know what you're saying, Div. I'm not connecting your dots. No, Jace is great. And so, like, the extra Jaces are, you have the Liliana the Veil argument. Like, when you draw too many Jaces, you just, like, loot the extra Jaces away. Or discard them to Collective Brutality. Man, this hand's great. Sign me up. The Inquisition before the Brutality is especially sweet, because it lets us know if we should use the discard mode on the Brutality. Man, that was a good draw. Sweet, we're gonna take a... Okay, so I have a Rest in Peace in hand. But I have Detention Sphere, so I really don't care about that, right? Am I just taking the Spell Queller, and then, like, we're killing this bird and taking this Court of Calling away, and then Detention Sphereing their other thing, and then wrathing all of their birds? God, that sounds great! We have constructed a game. Oh, they don't have another land. That's great. Alright, they drew a land. So they're going to cast Rest in Peace now, or they're going to cast another bird. Deal. So I don't actually think we're going to discard a card to escalate this Brutality. I think we're just taking their... I think we're just going to take their Court of Calling away here. Vizier, sure. Hey, Steven. Yeah, life's well. And play Vizier and Rip here. Do you want a Z-bar? Alright, well, we're just gonna curve out all natural here. Grab this here island, and then Detention Sphere. I'm gonna leave the birds because we have the Wrath. I'm just gonna take the Rip off the table. This is one of the reasons why I like Detention Sphere in this deck. It's a card that impacts the board when they don't have their hate, and it's an anti-hate card. Now, the real question here is, do I Wrath or do I Gifts? I think I'm just supposed to Wrath. They play another creature, I'm just Wrathing. Okay, yeah, now we have to Wrath. No reason to give them Outs next turn. My verdict is supreme. Go. Is this 5-for-1 good? Someone please explain. Results unsure. 5 months in Hogland coming for that Sapphire Shard again. Thank you for the continued support, Bulletproof Pope. I do appreciate it. They probably have a non-zero amount of paths in their deck post-board. So, like, this isn't guaranteed to be the end of the game, but it's going to at least kill this bird. So we're just going to get the Elesh, Norn, and the Unburial Rites here, especially since we have a follow-up gifts that can be a value gifts. If they path us, we get an extra land, so, you know, more mana to work with. That's the end of the game. So, I posed the question to the chat. Is the gifts package worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. Hannibal3188 with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much for the support. I do appreciate it. Welcome. New subscribers, remember it takes about an hour to happen, but you'll want to go to discordapp.com or just discord.com and create an account and then link your Discord account with your subscribed Twitch account, and you will see my subs only Discord server where we talk about magic and life and bitch about Comcast and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's a way for my subscribers to kind of pick my brain and gain access to me when I am not streaming. I don't know that we're going to finish this entire league with this deck, but we're going to play another match or two. It's about 1 o'clock. Declan will probably be awake from his nap in about an hour or so. I've been streaming for 2.5, so yeah, we'll do at least 3 hours or so. Hey, Mojo Jojo, leave my water bottle alone. Thanks. Oh, crap. Where is... You need some water, Joe? We're dog sitting my buddy's dog. I'd love to go first. Esper Charm's far too expensive. One of the reasons why this deck is good compared to a lot of Esper decks in Modern is that it's really trim. And 3 mana is not an effect we're looking, is not an amount of mana we're looking to spend. God, this hand's really good with a blue source. I'm gonna keep it because we have good interaction, and if we hit a blue source, this hand just goes from like reasonable to insane. There is a 4 or 5 day grace period in case you're a Twitch Prime sub and have to manually renew it, but yeah, the Discord automatically kicks you out if you're no longer a subscriber. Huh. It's probably just the cranial plating, right? Almost certainly. Yep. Yeah, Esper Charm's less value than Lingering Souls on average. I agree with that assessment. I need to go get the dog something to drink really quick. I'll be right back. Wow, they drew a 0-drop. That's pretty lucky. Can we draw a blue source and be equally lucky? So we can play this? That's really unfortunate. So, I Their hand is Steel Overseer, Glimmervoid, Master of Ethereum right now. I think I just have to pass here. We're not... Missing the blue source there is pretty bad for us against how aggressive their deck is. Hopefully they play the Steel Overseer. They're probably going to play the Master of Ethereum, right? Yeah, maybe I was supposed to have just killed this. Take 3 here. Their last card's Steel Overseer. Man, want to talk about a good removal spell? Look at that one. How powerful. Such wow. All right, so let's start by boarding that one out. And then get rid of these. Let's bring in these 2 and this one. And this one and these 2 and Kalitas. Iona gets to go away. I don't mind trading an Obzedat. Trimming a Goryo's Vengeance is probably fine. Oh, the discard spells aren't fantastic. I'll just get rid of all of those before we cut any of this. Seems good. Easy in, easy out. Yeah, I like it. Just solid deck building, right? We actually went back and forth on, like, this card could be Go for the Throat. It could be, it's possible that Victim of the Night is correct here. This could also be an Ultimate Price. The problem with Ultimate Price is that it misses Eldrazi, so I think this might be better as Victim of the Night. I'm not sure. The blue steel deck. I know, Zach, you're here in the chat and you love that deck, but it's really a collection of, like, mediocre cards that when they don't have synergy, like, they're not impressive, so I don't really care for it. What's going on, Relic? I'm doing well. Life is swell. Doomblade. The problem with Doomblade is it misses Dark Confidant and Gurmag Angler and Death Shadow. So you want this to be a 2-mana card that kills Gurmag Angler, basically. Oh, that was the problem with Victim of the Night. Victim of the Night doesn't kill zombie fish. So yeah, so I think Go for the Throat's actually optimal. Like, obviously it's bad against the Affinity matchup, but yeah. Does Victim miss Tasigur? Oh, Doomblade misses Tasigur, sure. Yeah, it misses all the Delve idiots people play. Yeah, but, like, there's a lot of cards in Modern that are, like... There's a lot of decks in Modern that are, like, these decks are reasonable when, like, our synergies are firing on all cylinders. So, like, I don't feel like the payoff when your synergies are firing on all cylinders are much more powerful than, like, the payoffs of what other people are doing. And, like, it's a neat collection of cards. This matchup's probably okay for us. The Gifts Norn plan is pretty fantastic. We have a lot of good removal. Lingering Souls is reasonable. We've got a couple of Stony Silences and a couple of Supreme Verdicts. So post-board especially, we should have a pretty reasonable matchup. I'd like to play first. I would like to keep my hand with the turn 2 Stony Silence. Weird. Weird. Yeah, definitely. Like, and that's true of, like, it's not even just of Modern, just, like, it's true of any format in any TCG. Like, people that have been watching the stream, you know, since I started streaming Magic Game probably know I wasn't very interested in Modern for the first start of when I came back to streaming, and that's because, like, I didn't have a deck I enjoyed playing. Like, having a deck you enjoy playing directly impacts whether or not you're enjoying a TCG or a particular format in that TCG, so... Stony Silence in all 3 colors, right? I mean, like, even if they have turn 1 Thoughtseize to take this away, like, we've got Brutality and Jace and Lingering Souls, and Jace can just flash back the Stony Silence, so that's fine too. So, like, even if they answer this, like, we have good tools for combating their deck, and they mulliganed, God bless. Nah, you flash back the Stony Silence. Come on now. For those in the audience that are being technically correct, Jace actually doesn't flash back anything if we're reading the backside here. Technically, nothing is flashbacked ever with Jace Vryn's Prodigy or Jace Telepath Unbound. Do you think Infect needs to be good again? Gataxian Probe. Probably Fatal Push to not exist. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to play the fast land there. Whatever. As you will. Never leave home without your Stony Silences, ladies and gentlemen. So, I think I might actually want a Brutality here and, like, hip check if they have a way to answer this. That's probably a little bit too defensive. Yeah, I'm just going to cast Lingering Souls. And the next turn we can go, like, Flashback plus Jace. Welp. If I'd have fetched, huh. That's certainly a thing. Yeah, we're winning the race, I agree. We have Collective Brutality, too. I wish I would have known. I should have thought about Blood Moon and fetched around it. We are still winning here, technically speaking. Until they whip flare us. What a fun and interactive match of Modern. What a fun and interactive match of Modern. I guess we're not hard. Yeah, in fact, we don't have, I don't have any copies. I only have one basic planes in my deck. They're dead in 3 because we're an Esper burn deck thanks to Collective Brutality. We do have a second swamp though, so we could draw a second swamp and cast the Scully Toss. Okay. It's actually kind of real. I think I'm just going to cast this Collective Brutality with modes Drain and kill this. Preserve our life total a little bit just on the off chance they do rip a Whip Flare. Target you. Bin this extra Jace. They're dead in 2 now. Use all 3 modes? Oh, we could pip check for a gal. Holy oh, because we could have checked for a Whip Flare. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Well. That's fine. Yeah, I should have done that. We could have checked for Galv Blast too. They could have, like, had that Whip Flare in hand. God, I'm dumb. There's no guarantee that, like, they had that. But, like, yeah, we should have used all the modes just because, like, they could have just Galv Blasted it too. Yeah, like, you can't Thoughtseize the top of their deck. Yeah, I think he would have played it last turn. Like, that's why I didn't do it. Like, I feel, well, they could have just been stupid too. Like, I never, you know. We rip a swamp or an island, we're in this game. We got 2 of those in our deck. Modern's a fun format. I could have fetched around this. Could have fetched around this. I could have played this on 2 or on 3. and gotten an island. Goryo's Vengeance is actually a live draw, because it means we can end step, bring back Jace, and loot with it. It's a shame we don't have Obzedat in our discard pile. If we hit an Obzedat while we're looting with this Jace, though, we could get it back. So we've got some good draws here. We can also hit Elesh, Norn, and then bring that back into play. So we're going to Goryo's Vengeance this at end of turn. Then we're going to loot with it. Big Buck Snow Galvanic Blast, please. That's the basic planes. Okay. I guess I'm bidding another Jace here. Probably. And we start our turn. And this doesn't go away till our end of turn, so we get to loot again here. Obzedat, please. Obzedat, please. Obzedat, please. Or Elesh Norn. Obzedat or Elesh Norn. Or Swamp. Or Island. I can still pitch the Kalitas here. The question is, do I want to? Probably want to. Do you think it's better to just put a Jace into play? I don't know if I agree with that. I think swinging with the Kalitas is slightly better. I think swinging with the Kalitas is slightly better. It buys us a couple of turns. I can't swing and kill the Thopter, so it's going to take... it's going to take my only black source to cast the Goryo's Vengeance. I think I binned the Kalitas, so like I'm pretty obligated to do this. This could be wrong, though. There's no way they're blocking. So, yeah. If I'd have played around Blood Moon, we'd have won this game. And this is why, like, a lot of matches of Modern aren't particularly interesting, in my opinion. Like, these lock pieces like this just don't belong in the format. Redshift95 with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you and welcome. I do appreciate it. So they go down to 5, we go up to 8. Yeah, we might have missequenced this here. There's 2 Goryo's Vengeance triggers because technically this is here too. After the Invitational, we will play more Legacy. Dark Saga 7 with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. I'm just gonna get you out of here. For one, we have more than 3 basics. 2, Blood Moon turns off decks that have a lot more than 3 basics. Like... Alright, that's how they beat turn 2 Stony Silence. Should've fetched around the Blood Moon. Blood Moon, okay, so Blood Moon, the reason why I hate a card like Blood Moon in the format like Modern is Blood Moon is the type of card that always leaves one person dissatisfied with the game of Magic that they played. In that game, for instance, if I'd have drawn my island, or if I'd have fetched from my island, my opponent's Blood Moon would have effectively really not done anything, and they would have just, like, paid 3 mana to discard a card and turn off their own Inkboth Dexes. So, like, either it does stone nothing, or it wins the game on the spot, and, like, it doesn't create interesting games of Magic while doing that dynamic, so it doesn't seem like a card that's worth having in a format, unless your goal when you're playing Magic is, like, not to have interesting games of Magic where both players are doing meaningful things. No, I don't think so. I think they would have whip flared beforehand. Sure, and I'm of the opinion, yes, Ensnaring Bridge is another card that I think does not belong in the format of Magic. And I'm of the opinion that those cards just shouldn't be legal. So, like, when you say, yes, there are other cards that also do that, I agree, and they also shouldn't exist, because the point of Magic should be to create interesting games of Magic where, like, both players are doing things. And you're allowed to disagree with that, but that's my opinion as someone that, like, is playing Magic to play a game and not just, like, throw $12 in this, like, slot machine and, like, hope things spin out in my favor. Like, I want to, like, go back and forth and have meaningful interactions. Spreading Seas, sure. Huh. That actually means I'm going to wait to crack this fetch line, because I don't want to get another Godless Shrine and get that one spread as well. God bless you, Immortal. That's my favorite. The results of that game of Magic don't affect my opinion about Blood Moon. If you've watched the stream before, which maybe you haven't, or you just, like, have a fucking brain in your head, like, you understand where I'm coming from. Like, it has nothing to do with, what the result of that specific game was. And, like, I'm here to stream Magic to have fun. Like, the subs are great, and I appreciate the support, and they let me, like, spend more time doing this and less time doing, like, actual work to make money. But, like, I'm here to have fun, so, like, I'm not just gonna sit here and listen to people, like, say stupid crap because they can, because they have a keyboard. And, like, I think cards like Blood Moon and Ensnaring Bridge, like, they can stay in formats like Vintage and Legacy, but, like Modern, the only reason those cards are legal in Modern is because of this very arbitrary line in the sand that someone at Wizards of the Coast drew, I don't know, who knows how long ago. Yeah, I think a card like, my pick for my favorite card that I wish was Modern legal and Blood Moon wasn't, Back to Basics is a card that I would love to see be Modern legal, that punishes people that are playing obnoxious mana bases while still allowing a game to exist. Whoa, man, free speech. You just hate free speech. Free speech means you can say whatever you want. It doesn't mean there's no consequences for the stupid crap that you say. It's weird. I know. It's a strange concept. I'm just gonna Liliana here. I'm gonna plus this. This Fatal Push probably isn't very good. Yeah, exactly. Like, 8th and 9th, like, the only reason those cards are legal in Modern is because of, like, the super arbitrary line in the sand that someone was like, we changed how the cards look slightly during this set. Let's create a new format starting there. Prior to Prized Amalgam and Cathartic Reunion being printed, I would have loved Cabal Therapy in Modern, but I think they 10 out of 10 make Dredge completely unreasonable. They have a D-Sphere for this little Iona? Jace, sure. That's great, Blaster Man. Oh, well, that's awkward. Huh. Well, I mean, I guess they're getting a path and a D-Sphere. This matchup's probably a little bit hard for us. What are we doing here? Am I casting Gifts? I'm going to start by plussing this. I don't think Therapy is safe in Modern with Dredge existing how it does. I think you'd have to ban Prized Amalgam if you wanted Cabal Therapy to exist. Or Conflagrate. Probably Prized Amalgam, though. I'm going to cast Gifts and hope they don't have a main deck Dispel here. Alright, so I'm going to get a Jace Vryn's Prodigy. An Obzedat. Am I supposed to get a bunch of discard spells here, too? Like, grab a Thoughtseize and an Inquisition? That doesn't seem unreasonable. Good spread of value. Yeah. I'll do this. They usually have Cryptic Command in their deck, so I don't think Iona's good. I think I want to use these to spot check the removal out of their hand before we do anything. And we can snap one of those discard spells. We did not beat Affinity. They Blood Mooned us after we Stony Silenced them. So, and I did not fetch around Blood Moon on turn 3. So, here's the D-Sphere. You know, they have a path in their hand. Plus their Jace. Another Jace. Not a great draw. Let's play this. I think I'm just going to target Inquisition with it. See if they have a remand check. Path, snap, think twice. Alright, well, I mean, I guess we'll take your Snapcaster Mage. Cast this Jace. I'm building Jeskai, Saheeli, and Modern. Do you think Nahiri or Saheeli is better? I don't really have an educated opinion on that deck. All the variations of it are pretty terrible, in my experience. Yep. This Jace has now drawn them infinite cards. Yeah, we're really not getting out of this. Let's bring in our counter spells, our Detention Spheres, and our Disenchant. Obzetai's Command is okay. Let's get these paths and pushes out of our deck. Iona's not good enough. They don't really kill our stuff. I think I'm just going to get rid of this whole package here. God, the ins and outs in this deck are so clean. It's possible I want some pushes. This is just worse than push. It's possible I want a couple of pushes to deal with Celestial Colonnade. I don't hate that. Submit like this, I think. I don't think I really like Nihil Spellbomb for just countering Snapcaster Mage activations. It seems a little loose. Oh, Path hits Gideon Jura. Good call. Good call. No, I think the hedge on Path hitting Gideon Jura is fine too. Like, this hits Gideon as well, which is true, but I think this is fine. I think that small hedge, like, giving them an extra land is probably not the end of the world. Like, if they're attacking with a colonnade, giving them a land is whatever. I don't think the upside in the Spellbomb is worth it. I don't think Spellbomb is better than any of these cards I currently have in my deck. Everyone's having a good Saturday, hanging out, playing some Modern here. Thanks for choosing to be here instead of the Grand Prix. I know how stimulating Limited is, so I know you're giving up a lot to be here instead. Inquisition into Jace, sign me up. Do I think Liliana the Veil is good again? I think Liliana the Veil is good against Death Shadow. I don't know if it's good in general. I think it's good in that matchup, so I'm playing 2 in the main deck. We can board them out when they're bad. I think I'm just going to take their Serum Visions here. Just, like, not give them anything to do with their mana for a little while. Yep, we are fully funded for the Invitational. I'm going to hold this land, so that way they're only cutting me off 1 color with their Spreading Seas as opposed to cutting me off 2. What do I think of fairies in the current Modern format? Probably pretty bad. LSV kind of hit the nail on the head. You know, it's just like, everything fairies is doing, you're just like, man, why aren't I playing Death Shadow? Yeah, like, Limited's interesting to watch, and, like, the drafting portion is good, but I don't really like watching the gameplay. The gameplay is not terribly dynamic a lot of the time. Huh. It's a pretty decent draw. Guess the Serum Visions to start. Gifts is good. Negate's fine. Souls is good. All these cards are fine. The untapped land here. I think I want to draw the Souls more than Negate. I might have to fetch the Negate away next turn. Although I guess I can loot into it, so I'm going to get both of those. Yeah, it seems good. Huh. Do I just want to loot here and flashback Lingering Souls? I might actually, right? Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that. Because if they snap, if they, like, have a path here and they path my Jace, I can just, like, Gifts next turn. Hey, man, different strokes for different folks. Just because, you know, we don't like something doesn't mean other people can't enjoy it. And depending on who the commentators are, it's probably not awful. As someone who often states things I dislike, people tend to take things personally. Like, you know, if you dislike something that they enjoy, that means you hate them. And it's just like, that's not how it works. You can't counter Skull Click anyways. That's correct. But Spirit tokens, they block the crap out of a click. So, you're gonna click me during my draw step? Yep. That's fine. I don't have any counter spells that counter a creature, so probably gonna lose the gifts here. Probably fetch a Godless Shrine with this, and then loot. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I think we're gonna lead on Inquisition now, right? Seems reasonable. Well, this is really good. So I get to take Snapcaster, and then I get to crack this fetch before I loot, and then I get to flip my Jace and take their Gideon. So Jace flips if you're putting your 5th card in the discard pile. Don't really need another land. Flashback this Inquisition of Kozilek and take away their other spell. I guess there's an argument to casting Serum Visions here, since I could just counterspell this, but these counterspells are going to be live later, so I think it's worth just doing that. Not attacking here, because if they draw a path, I want to be able to block this. So their hand is Ghost Quarter, Plains. Concealed Courtyard, sure. Do that there. I'm going to play this out. Yeah. I'm going to attack with one Spirit now, because now if my opponent draws a path to Exile, they're only hitting this for one, which is fine. Yeah, Cube's a little bit different than traditional Limited. High variance formats are far more enjoyable to watch than to actually play, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think I want to change anything. I think I like how he boarded. Anyone? Comments? Only cards I could consider out of the board are the Spellbombs and this last Brutality, and I don't think any of these are better choices than the things I'm already doing. Yeah, I'm just going to run this back. This game's not amazing, but it's fine. Want a mulligan? Sign me up. Can't have a discard spell on every hand. Yeah, one command is kind of nice. I wanted to be able to gifts for 4 things that could give me a chance to counter Primeval Titan, and that's one of them. Or counter Summoner's Pact / Primeval Titan. What's the new anti-burn card? That one that resets you to your starting life total that they can Skullcrack you on? Doesn't sound very good. Can you spread me? Sure. Alright, because I drew that, I'm going to Brutality this turn. I was thinking about just holding up a counterspell for a potential 3-mana Gideon, but I think I want to just check for removal and then stick this Jace if we have the all clear. They probably don't have that many 3-mana Gideons anyways. Whoa, straight bricks. Alrighty. Well, that feels bad, kind of. Now they're just going to run all their action off the top. Yeah, I'm just going to erase them here, right? We're going to fetch another Godless Shrine. I'm going to play this Liliana. We're going to bin this Obzedat. They're going to Detention Sphere this. We're going to Goryo's Vengeance the Obzedat. So they discarded a Flooded Strand. So if they don't draw a path to Exile, this Obzedat's going to kill them very quickly. And if we draw an untapped land, well, we are going to be able to protect our Obzedat. Jace, sure. Oh, wow, this Goryo's Vengeance is about to be great. Man, they keep getting 2 of them. Feels bad. Okay, well, that's a good draw. I think I'm just going to leave up a counterspell here. Am I? I might just jam the Jace, actually. So, you know they have Serum Visions plus Ghost Quarter? Yeah, I'm just going to leave up the counterspell. So you want to stack this so this goes first. So that way Obzedat exiles himself and come back. No, I don't want a Lily because they're up cards and they're probably going to Desphere this. They're going to cast the Serum Visions that we know about. Weird. What's going on? Cruising in? Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be live for. Probably till Declan wakes up from his nap. Make sure the sound's on this, actually, so I hear him when he wakes up. I'm going to correct this fetch it end step. They didn't de-sphere the Liliana since I'm not pushing it up. That's interesting. Extra black source, extra white source. Extra white source, probably. They're gonna have path plus a way to fight over it here. That'd be unfortunate. Detention Sphere of our own. That actually gets our Liliana back, which is kind of sweet. Do I want to just plus this? No, I think I like all the cards in my hand. Yeah, I'm just going to pass. He's out of here. Oh, I can't de-sphere, de-sphere. Good call. Good call. That is correct. It's a non-detention sphere target. That's really obnoxious. Is the detention sphere? We got another Jace coming down. There's the sphere. She gone. I like this deck a lot. I think it's fairly well positioned. Has a lot of good matchups against the decks that are popular in Modern. So we're going to hit my opponent for 7 next turn, putting them to whatever. And then this, actually, so if this resolves, Attack Edge to be sure, they should just be dead here, basically. Yeah, that's fine. Because if they have Path, hopefully they have Path here, because then we counter-scroll the Path, which puts them to 2 after the Obzedat blinks out, and then the Obzedat coming back trigger kills them. Shock myself. Hope he's got a Supreme Verdict in his hand. Yes, I actually, the first iteration of this deck that I built was at the end of 2015. This iteration of the deck came back up because I was looking for a deck to play in Modern, and Collective Brutality specifically gives this deck a lot of legs, fixing matchups that were otherwise very difficult for it previously. Like, the Burn matchup went from unwinnable to slightly favorable with 3 copies of Collective Brutality in the 75. Ghost Dad is, I agree, a heck of a Magic card. Mojo Jojo. Joey, calm down, bud. Oh, I need to counter this, because otherwise they can get a thing that says they can't lose the game. And they could have a counter back for this. Dispel, yep. Oh, I can just de-sphere this, right? Alright. So I need Path here. I'm watching my buddy's dog for the day, because the kids do like to play with the dog a lot of the time, especially Declan. So I believe they still take damage from this. Oh, that's weird. You don't control Gideon anymore. Strange. Alright, got him. Can we see Mojo Jojo on camera? Come here, Joey. You want to see the people on the internet? Alright, come here. Oh. Hi, Joe Dog. Can you say hi, internet? My name is Joey. No, you're not a person. You're a puppy. Ooh, who's a good pup? Who's a good pup? Alright, let's play one more, and then I think we're going to wrap it up and call it an afternoon. Oops, no Gideons. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. I do appreciate it. I'll wait for this match to pop. I would just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your day here with us. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I am joined by Joey the dog this morning, and you've landed at my Twitch page or maybe my YouTube page in the future. If you're enjoying what you see, I'd encourage you to show us support by using that follow button there on your screen. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps other people find my stuff. If you're really enjoying what you see, you can support my content in a couple different ways past that. The first is by subscribing on Twitch or becoming a patron on Patreon. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors. You're probably going to buy some of these Magic-related things anyways, so you might as well do them with my discount codes. MTGOtraders.com is your ultimate source for Magic Online cards. You can use code Hoagland, PayPal at checkout there to save 8% on all of your orders. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. They do custom playmats and mouse pads and stuff like that. If you use code Jeff12 there, you'll save 12% on your purchases. MTGCardMarket.com buys and sells physical Magic cards, as well as having a great selection of written content. I write for them there every week. And finally, SpareDeck.com would love to rent you a standard or modern deck. You can rent a deck for an entire weekend or up to a month. I use their service for a lot of my things because I don't actually own that many physical Magic cards. At any rate, our fourth match has popped. We're playing against SCG Green. So who knows who we're playing with? It's one of the content producers at Star City Games. So, which are these accounts are technically against the Magic Online terms of service for reference, but you know we won't get into that. Let's go ahead and Inquisition them here on one, find out what they're doing. Spell Snare, Nahiri. Yeah, I guess Spell Snare's annoying. We'll take that because then our Collective Brutality can resolve down the line. Nahiri's a little annoying too. We have a Celestial Purge and Destroyers on the board though, at least. It's probably Jim Davis based on the fact that they're playing just Nahiri. It's a good draw. Try and find a black source here. I'm going to bottom the Go for the Throat. Lingering Souls is probably pretty good in this matchup. And we're going to get 3 more looks at another land here. So hopefully keeping that doesn't punish us. Perfect. Yeah, top here, actually. Jim is also streaming, sure. All of my matches get archived to YouTube, so you can check out my YouTube channel, which is linked in the stream information down below. And later this evening, after the stream is done, you'll be able to find my stuff there. I think I'm actually going to, if this resolves, we're going to bin the Elesh Norn, because having 4 Lingering Souls is much better for pressuring them than just 2 Lingering Souls. Especially when they have a Path to Exile in their hand. Putting this in the bin means if we draw Goryo's Vengeance, we could randomly flip it into play for extra power to pressure this Nahiri. They've been to Path to Exile, sure. See if they have a Snapcaster Mage or not to pressure our Liliana. They've got a black splash, interesting. There's no Grizzlebrands in my deck. We're playing basically only reasonable Magic cards. Yep, and they have a Snapcaster, sure. Gives our push something to do. It's 10 out of 10, just like Nahiri plus here, right? I found a use for Ancestral Visions, discarding it to that. What do I want to do with this? I think I want to plus this, discard the souls, so I can push this as well this turn. I know I said I wanted both halves of this, but the fact that I have the Creeping Tarpet to pressure this too makes it fine for me. And like getting this off the table is good. Spreading Seas. Well, I'm glad we sequenced the way we did. Push this. Flashback this. Cast this. Go. And they have like bolts and helixes here to kill our Liliana the Veil, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. Yep. Just going for the ultimate. Discards another Nahiri. What do we got? There are links to the deck list below the stream. Big old button says MTG decks. You can scroll down and click on it. Huh. I wonder what their last card is. I'm going to start by attacking with these spirits, I think. Nah, I'm going to plus first. If their last card's Electrolyze, I need to attack with this Creeping Tar Pit, too. Snapcaster's annoying. Need to target Path here. Means my Creeping Tar Pit can't get in. It does mean we're going to keep this Liliana off of ultimating, though, which is nice. I'm going to bin this Collective Brutality, I think. And then I can go ahead and attack this Nihiri with both of these. So they can path one of these. I'm fine taking a land. They can't block the other one because it's flying. What do I need more of? I have 3 black, I only have 2 white. So what do I want to gifts for here? I think we just want to value gifts at this point. Just like draw a bunch of cards basically. So while they don't have any counter spells in hand, I'm just going to go ahead and do this before we get into trouble. There could be merit to playing the Lingering Souls, but next turn we'll be able to play and flash it back potentially. So let's get Obzedat, Ghost Council, Unburial Rites, Goryo's Vengeance, Snapcaster Mage. That doesn't seem awful. I want to do this, I think. I guess instead of the rights, I could put Snapcaster Mage in here. Not necessarily. They don't have any cards in their hand, and if they're going to use this to kill the spirit, then it's not going to threaten ultimate. I'm going to do this, I think. It's possible an Unburial Rites is correct in here, but I do need to pressure this Nihiri too, so like, it's a real thing. That's gonna be the toughest part of playing this deck in paper, is like finding the cards I want. Like, figuring out which cards I want and finding them quickly mechanically in paper is gonna be difficult. I do have a deck list in Standard. I've got like everything but the sideboard hammered out. I'm really excited to play it. It is something new, and I worked with a couple other people on it, so I'm not allowed to stream or do content with it because we want it to be a surprise for the Invitational. Maybe I'm just supposed to Lingering Souls there. They have 2 shots to hit removal now for my Creeping Tar Pit. Oh, I guess if they keep the card in their hand, they have to like exactly Spreading Seas, because I could just plus the Liliana to clear removal out of their hand. It's a Plains. Basic Plains. They were trying to dodge Spreading Seas, which we know they have some of in their main deck. Okay, well they didn't discard their card. Let's start by plussing Liliana the Veil and see what happens. Probably binning that Darkslick Shores. Path my Spirit in response. Yep, now we're definitely binning the Darkslick Shores, because I don't need the extra land now. So like, they're technically getting value out of these, but it's like, whatever. to bin this? I think I want to bin this. Yeah, we'll draw more lands. Or they'll draw more paths, one of the two. So next turn I can activate Tar Pit plus play Jace, which is a good combination. This doesn't kill my Liliana, thankfully. Must be keeping their card, right? Yeah. If they weren't keeping their card there, they would have discarded before they attacked. Yeah, I'm going to start by plussing again. They have a Bolt here. Another Snapcaster Mage. Fuck. Wow, does that kill us? I think that kills us. That was a good top deck. That was, like, literally the best draw on their deck. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I think we're just dead to the Emrakul now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just dead. Yep. We're not beating the Annihilator trigger. We can technically not die to the Emrakul, but like we're not beating the Annihilator trigger. So like what's the point? Don't want path, don't want push. Again, I think the Unburial Rites package is bad in these control matchups where they could have multiple ways to kill it. Yeah, and again, easy in, easy out. Jace has to not have Summoning Sickness to loot. Yeah, I guess we can play to them drawing the Emrakul, sure. Sure, you're technically correct. In a tournament, I'd make them do it. It doesn't matter how many permanents I have. It doesn't matter. We're just gonna die. Collective Brutality doesn't deal damage, it's life loss. You cannot redirect it. Yeah, Detention Sphere is there to hit Nahiri. So, like, if they're going to Nahiri a Detention Sphere, they're going to get another Nahiri back. So, like, that's fine. Ten out of 10, super fine to bring a Detention Sphere in this matchup. To play first. Eh, Sand's not great, but it's fine. Non-zero chance this is supposed to get Godless Shrine, but if we're bottoming things, I want to leave them on the bottom. Jace is a good draw. Yeah, I think I want all these, actually. Just top here. Joey. Calm down, bud. It's okay, I promise. You can't path to exile Emrakul. He was just out. I think he heard you. Maybe I'm supposed to draw the Obzedat for when they path this Jace. This is our last. He has Fatal Pushes in his deck? Weird. I'm not updating Tapped Out. This is the last match that we're streaming, so ask Magic Online to come up with an API so we can do things like that automatically. You know, someday they'll be in the real world. It's not my dog, it's my buddy's dog. Yeah, both these cards are great, actually, right? We get to Brutality and Hip Check. Do I wanna keep this? This is kind of slow. That's probably worth it. Yeah, let's go top here. Leave this past the turn. So we'll Brutality this turn to look at their hand. What you got over here, opponent? You know, like Esper Charmed in response here? Yeah, we are. I'm surprised he didn't mind drop me. Oh, their hand is very bad. I guess their hand was so bad they needed to draw cards. Our next turn's gonna be real good, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be real good, especially if they play Nihil here. Jim's deck is sweet. I'm gonna send you over to his stream after we're done here. So, thanks everyone for hanging out. Jim Davis is actually streaming right now, so it is in fact him. That's kind of unfortunate for us, because Disdainful Stroke doesn't counter it. Seriously, he drew Ancestral Vision? That's annoying. Well, we're gonna Goryo's Vengeance this back and loot. The Goryo's Vengeance. Okay. Oh, the old shuffle my Lingering Souls back into my deck with my Emrakul shuffle trigger. What a combo deck. So they played Watery Grave. I wonder if he's got gifts in his deck too. It's definitely something worth splashing black for. I wonder if red's the splash actually and he doesn't have burn spells in his deck. I don't know what OBSE is. Feel free to elaborate. I mean, why did I not put Obzedat into play? Because we know they have a Nihiri, and I would like to Disdainful Stroke it. Jim just said he's running to the bathroom. Okay. Because I know my opponent has Nihiri in hand, and I would like to Disdainful Stroke their Nihiri. Like, putting Obzedat into play is just gonna, like, hit them for 2 and kill a spirit, which doesn't seem worthwhile. No, I don't think so. The reason why this deck is good is because, like, all of your stuff was, what was I asking? We have negate. We have 1 stroke, 1 negate, and 1 counter squall. And the reason why you play the split on the counter spells is so when you can cast Gifts Ungiven and get all 3 counter spells. Along with a Snapcaster Mage. And this matchup negates probably a little bit better, but on average I think this card's fine in Modern, and having the split is good. I really don't want multiple 8+ mana spells. Like, we have the one Iona because Iona single-handedly wins games on her own. There aren't a lot of matches where Gristlebrand wins as, like, exactly these type of grindy matchups, and I think just casting Gifts in these grindy matchups is fine. Any suggestions on Jeskai deck versus Tron? I would recommend playing a real deck if you want to have a good matchup against the other decks that are good in the format. Like, if you're playing tier 2 and tier 3, even the tier 1 decks in Modern. Like, Modern is a format that's all about picking a deck that you enjoy playing, and then accepting that you're going to lose to some small subset of decks. And the worse your deck is, the bigger that subset of decks that you're going to lose to is. I don't bring in Stroke against the Delve decks, but we do usually bring it against the Eldrazi decks, because it does fine there. What do I think about Burn? I think Burn's one of the best decks in Modern. It consistently puts up the most results. Burn and Affinity are consistently the two best decks in Modern across all like, the spectrum of the history of Modern. Like, I think Jim's actually playing Esper Splash Nahiri, but not 100%. We know his hand right now is Delta, Catacomb, Plains, Emrakul, Nahiri, so he's one card that we don't know. If he doesn't run the Nahiri into the Stroke, we're going to Goryo's Vengeance the Obzedat at end of turn. I think Street Wraith should be banned in Modern. I think cards like Street Wraith add nothing of value to the format, and letting people play 56 cards decks is dumb. And on top of allowing people to play 56 card decks in Modern for very little cost, it also gives random upside to decks like Living End and Death Shadow that don't need extra help. So my pick 4 would be make Death Shadow slightly worse and less consistent by banning Street Wraith, a card that probably doesn't need to exist in Modern in the first place. I know there's a lot of people that are like LSV just put out that video saying that we should ban Death Shadow outright. Like, I don't think that's true. I think the deck's probably fine in the abstract, and on the power level, it does things that are kind of interesting for people that want, like, small edges and, like, can't play cantrips and stuff, but, like, let's just get rid of Street Wraith. Like, that card's a problem. And, like, they showed us by banning a Taxing Probe that they're willing to make bans like that, so it's probably not completely unreasonable for that to be removed. Good chat. Feel free to post any other questions in chat here while my opponent's using the restroom. I mean, with this bathroom break, if we win this game, we might be able to time him out of the third game. Opponent said they were running to the bathroom in chat. Yeah, I would get rid of Blood Moon, I would get rid of Ensnaring Bridge, I would get rid of Choke, I would get rid of Boil, I would get rid of all of the cards that, like, when someone plays them, the magic stops happening for one or both players. Just, like, get it, stop it. I don't know if Claim Fame is that much better than Call Against Command. Grixis Control sounds like a crappy version of Grixis Death Shadow. Yeah, I think this deck's great. This deck is my top choice for what I'm going to play in the Modern portion of the Invitational next weekend. It's very powerful and consistent and doing strong things. I think Chalice might almost be fine in Modern, because, like, a lot of decks aren't all 1-mana spells. I just feel like in a format like Modern, we don't have the tools to, like, interact with and play around a lot of those hosers efficiently like we do in Legacy. So, like, I feel like those hosers belong in those other formats where, like, we have better tools. Dredge is pretty difficult. Dredge and making mistakes. Casting the card Gifts Ungiven is not easy. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes you just get, like, Unburial Rites fatty and the game ends, but other times, like, stacking the value gifts pile and playing around things is difficult. Yeah, Force and Daze, and, like, you know, we have better access to better mana in general. It's a little bit different than Postmortem Lunge because Claim Fame gives you value when you Thought Scour it, but... Hey, cruising in, thanks. So, I didn't say I think Back to Basics belongs in Modern. When I talked about that earlier, I said I think Back to Basics, if we wanted a card similar to Blood Moon in Modern, I think Back to Basics is a powerful card that's similar, but, like, allows the game to continue playing more consistently. I don't think that card belongs in Modern, but I think that belongs in Modern more than Blood Moon does. I don't know about Price of Progress. Price of Progress probably makes Burn tier 0, which I don't think, like, Burn being tier 1 is good, but I don't think we want it, we don't want it to be tier 0. I would, yeah. As someone who's played a 2-color deck and lost playing my 2-color deck against a Blood Moon deck on more than one occasion, like, it's miserable. As someone who's played a straight blue-red deck or, like, black-red deck or white-red deck and lost to my opponent playing a turn 1 or turn 2 Blood Moon because I just didn't draw my basics in my 2-color deck, no. Blood Moon doesn't just punish greedy mana bases. It doesn't even really punish Tron all that well because Tron has maps and Mind Stones and Sylvan Scryings and Chromatic Stars, Like, Tron, the Blood Moon just, like, punishes people that, like, drew kind of awkwardly or cracked their fetch wrong. I played Sanctioned Magic on over 30 different weekends in large tournaments in 2014, 2015, and 2016. This year, I'm traveling slightly less for Paper Magic, but I've played probably 8 or 9 tournament weekends this year so far, and I'm playing at the Star City Games Invitational in Roanoke, Virginia next weekend. Should Spirit Guide get banned? I would like Spirit Guide to be removed. I don't think anyone shows up to... Ad Nauseam is like the fairest use of Spirit Guide in the format, and I kind of like that as a deck, so I guess I would be a little bit sad to see it go, but like in general, I don't think Spirit Guide lends anything beneficial to Modern as a format. Have a Grixis Delver player I play a lot with. They've lost every match where they've cast Moon versus Tron. Correct. Yep. I don't actually think Blood Moon is very good against Tron, and Tron's like the deck that like cites... People like cite when they're like, well, we need Blood Moon in the format, gotta check the Tron deck. It's like, I don't know if you've actually played a lot of matches against Tron with Blood Moon. They just like cast their cards. Jim is pooping. All right. I mean, I assumed he said BRB bathroom, but it's been a little while here. We can pull the deck list up here and kind of talk about it a little bit. So we're 2-1 in this league right now. And I 5-0'd the 2 leagues before this, so, like, very respectable record, even if we lose this match, which we're not in a bad spot in the second game. We're, like, you know, 12-2 across a bunch of matches. Oh, baby, we're back. Okay, there's the Delta that we knew about. We're going to attack my Jace for 1. Hopefully we win this game so we can time him out of the third one now. Punish him for his explosive ball. He drew a path, he drew a path. Obzedat's command is sweet. Just gonna recast the Serum Visions here. Liliana's okay. Don't really need another land. I'm gonna top the Serum Visions. I can play Liliana and hold Stroke up, but I don't really want to discard my Obzedat's command, so I think we're just gonna pass. Celtic 61 with the brand new Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. That is the best way you could support my content. I'm playing. Do you intend on playing and streaming more Magic after the Invitational? Yep. The Invitational just like happened to be a thing that came up that I collected donations for to get to with my house cost, but I started streaming long before I intended to attend the Invitational. And when you want to stack it, so the Obzedat trigger goes on the stack first, so Obzedat exiles himself, so that way he comes back next turn. God bless that command. Is it Static Caster? Is it really, though? The old Is it Static Caster in the Lingering Souls mirror match? Sure. You do you, Jim. It's definitely interesting. So their hand right now is Drowned Catacombs, Snow Cover Plains, Emrakul, Nahiri. Oh, right. They have this thing ticking down, too. It's at 2 now. I appreciate it. $3! Get my sub points up there. We're almost to another emote. 293 out of 300 sub points. So they can kill the Jace here, and then if they jam the Nahiri, we stroke it. If they don't jam the Nahiri, we bring the Jace back into play and draw a card. What is he doing? Alright. So we have Emrakul, Snow-Covered Plains. Did we draw a counterspell? If they drew a counterspell, we're actually in trouble. Alright, sweet. They didn't. This comes back. Put on Serum Visions here. Do you think Bant Eldrazi is still in a good place right now? Probably not. Probably worse than Eldrazi-Tron. Oh, I can just kill him here, right? Oh, this is sweet. I think I'm going to top this for now. Might want that later. So we're going to snap Goryo's Vengeance on my Jace. And then Jace is going to loot and flip, which gets me the Brutality on top of my deck. And him leaving play triggers Revolt, so we can push this guy off a cliff. And then we hit them with this, and then next turn he dies to the trigger. Alright, so he's just gotta... He actually has to put us to 0, otherwise the Obzedat kills him. Is that sequence good? If so, why? Can anyone please explain? Alright, and get a third game. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Fatal Push seems fine. Do I want the Elesh Norn as like a fun of to kill his Souls tokens? It actually doesn't seem unreasonable. I don't think I want the Unburial Rites with it. Let's just do this. I can Goryo's it back if we need it quickly, or we can just hardcast it down the line. Maybe this is loose. Like the one removal. Yeah, the one removal is probably better. Actually, you know what? The Nihil... Oh, we didn't get to... Alright, let's get to the sponsors page here while I reload Magic Online. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. We're dealing with the technology that we have. This is the hand we've been dealt in life. Magic Online's queue back up here. Enjoy the wonderful sponsors page. Look at that wonderful, fully funded SCG Invitational. This is going to be my last game of the day, and then I'm actually going to send you over to Jim's stream, who we're currently playing against. I probably wanted the Nihil Spellbombs in this matchup, actually, because my opponent has Lingering Souls on top of Snapcaster Mage. I think the Nihil Spellbomb... I don't think Nihil Spellbomb is worth it for just Snapcaster, but I think once you factor in that he could have Lingering Souls as well, it becomes worth it. And hey, the good news is, if we lose this match, this league's now free, because Magic Online crashed. Yeah, this hand looks fine. Nope, it's a feature. Yep. Oh, you know what? We talked about, someone asked earlier if Detention Sphere is worth it against Tahiri. Jim has Esper Charm in his deck, which might make Detention Sphere too much of a liability. I don't really need that. I think I want the Tar Pit. Yeah, I probably want the Tar Pit. Just hit our land drops. Hey, Declan. Just come right down here and grab some food. Say, Dad, I was napping. I'm hungry. You want to come say hi to the internet? Ugh. Say hi, internet. My name is Declan. This is my youngest. Declan is 2. For those of you who are unaware, I am a father of 2. This is my... Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and cast this Collective Brutality here. Take a peekaboo at what's going on. If he has a negate here, this isn't the worst thing to negate. Get my auto pass on here. We got our Disdainful Stroke in hand again here for a possible Nahiri. And Dispel, Fatal Push. Well, this hand's real bad. Deal. I wonder if he just played the wrong land there, not realizing this was going to come into play tapped. I'm just going to play this Lingering Souls now. I'm going to get a Hallowed Fountain here, so that way I can snap Serum Visions next turn if I need to. He did, yep. The way there was a tapping a land and then a pause, he must have drawn a 3-drop like Lingering Souls of his own. Drowned Catacomb, Sacred Foundry, Trotted, like, doop, doop, doop. And he has Godless Shrine, Snow-Covered Islands in his hand, so, like... Thoughtseize is a decent draw. Start by attacking with these two. Now the question is, do I want to Thoughtseize him here, or do I want to snap? I'm going to Thoughtseize, because if the coast is clear after this Thoughtseize, I'll flash back to Lingering Souls. We'll see what they have here. I feel like he must have drawn another spell in there. He had 2 draws. We get the Esper Charm. They're going to draw 2 cards. Okay. Huh. Probably just has to be Lingering, or Snapcaster Mage, right? Flashback my souls. I forgot to hide all this stuff first. So he's got push, souls, counter squall, 2 lands. The fact that I did so much to myself with my lands might lose me this game. No joke. Alright, so that's actually a pretty good draw. So we know he has Snow-Covered Island, Fatal Push, Counter Squall, and he just exiled that. So I'm going to... I think I'm just going to snap back Brutality, discarding this land to kill this and discard the Counter Squall out of his hand. Do I want to drain him for 2, too? That's probably bad. So, -2/-2, look at their hand. Choose you, choose this, pay my mana. I think I want to bin this land. I guess I could see binning the Disdainful Stroke. I'm going to bin the Stroke, actually, and play the land. It's going to push in response, and I'll take the Counter Squall. Sure. He does have an Ancestral Visions ticking down. This gives away some of the information that I don't have anything in my hand. That's whatever, we'll get this auto pass value in. See how good the top of his deck is here. Even in a here, he's not great here because it only pluses to 6 and I have Creeping Tarpet. Yep. Oh, so he has Island left in his hand as the last card. Yep, just gonna cast that one. I'm gonna attack with all my spirits first before we do anything. We know his last card's a land. Good. Now he doesn't have a spirit to jump block with next turn. This gains us a little bit of life, which gets us out of burn range, which is nice. I'm glad I kept the land and discarded the Disdainful Stroke. I'd like to exile Obzedat. And the real question becomes, like, are we casting Gifts or are we just cracking them with a Tar Pit next turn? It's probably casting the Gifts. This kills them? Oh, I'm just supposed to try and kill them, right? Alright, and we got it fair and square without the timeout. Alright, at any rate, Jim's good people and a very good Magic player, so I'm signing off for the afternoon. Thank you everyone for watching, I do appreciate it. We've been going for about 4 hours. If you missed my stream, my part of the stream earlier with the Blue-Red Gift Storm deck, I played 5 matches with that. We 3-2'd that league, and then we're 3-1 in this league that we recorded. If you missed any of today's stream, I'm going to get my archive uploaded to YouTube. It'll probably be available about 2.5, 3 hours from now, depending on how well my internet's doing and how long YouTube takes to process. Everyone have a good weekend, and I appreciate all of the new subscribers and followers and the donations that put us past our goal even. So thank you very much, and I'm going to go ahead and give Jim a host now.